Good morning. So I want to do a quick video about starting the Divine Comedy last night. I got about 2 hours into it, and what it left me with was such a feeling of sadness because the beginning part is the inferno, where he meets people that are spirits that are in hell. And the reasons why they're there is a direct result of the way they lived. But we can only live the way that we are sort of programmed to live. And it's not like we have, our parents are omnipotent beings that are teaching us, about the way that the world is or how we can be most effective and experience the most. We don't have that, and so we just sort of like muddle through life doing whatever it seems as though our agenda is, and that is, I guess, the perfection of how it's supposed to be. But after 2 hours, the interesting thing about that was, as I began listening to it, so I was listening to it on an audiobook. The it was written in 1356 or something like that. And so the words started to feel not necessarily familiar, but there was an ease into what I was listening to, almost as if, have I heard this before? And if you think about past lives, you know, what if we read a book now that we read before, and there's this kind of deja vu, or something, and that to me in and of itself in the beginning was interesting because I was like, okay. But the interesting part of this video is that after 2 hours of sort of being saturated in other people's misery, I just had to cry. And this was like right before bedtime. So I was just crying in bed, from the deepest part of me, even thinking, boy, this is sort of a new sounding cry. And I was also crying too, for the suffering of the world right now. And, somebody that's very dear to me who's having a tough time, but trying to make the best of it. But, the world is a very precarious place. And so what do we do with all that? Anyways, the part that was interesting was that after I was finished crying, wailing, I had a hard time falling asleep. And I thought, oh yeah, this is probably not the best thing to read right before bed. But I dreamt last night just a wonderful, wonderful dream. And it was the gay man who did the Mardi Gras performance that was just out of this world. And I follow him on TikTok. He's so interesting. He's a third grade teacher, and the stories that he tells are so endearing. There's a light about him that there's no doubt. And the dance that he did, the performance that he did was so, he did such a great job in the talent, the fact that obviously he knows how to dance, but there was a vulnerability, and a sexuality and all these things. He was being so authentic. That was what really drew me to that video so much, so that I wanted to share it. And even thinking about the idea, somebody had commented on his site about, that they hope his kids don't watch it, the third grade class. And I'm thinking, well, why not? To to feel that kind, we live in a society where we think everybody is a predator, and that's not true. So the whole, what I posted yesterday with, the art with the people that were naked, it's like, and there's a child there, naked. How close are we to that? The idea of modesty, or, oh no, you can't see, or I can't see. And so in the dream, it was so wonderful because he was very much attracted to me. And so I think in the dream I may have, I couldn't we didn't connect in a, that a sexual way, but we, that the chemistry was very much there. And the idea that somebody like that, somebody who is really living their best life, really putting it all out there, was saw that in me, that is what I take away. That dream, it was a feel-good dream, but it also was very reflective on other levels. And I wonder too that, they say that when we cry and we release and we heal, that we're making room inside ourselves for something big to come in, or something more to come in, something loving or positive to replace that space. Because now there's like, okay, there's vacancy, who wants to fill it? And so if you're geared towards enlightenment, and you're following the signs, there's amazing things. Like, I entertain myself every day by all the different things that I'm learning, and the overlaps, and knowing that there's something, I know at least something, there's probably a whole team of things that are guiding me. And so I know that there is, just being here, and the story behind being here is just divine intervention. And so that, I feel good about that. I feel good about the fact that I had this release because of what I read, which triggered something inside me for the world and somebody dear. And then it opened up a space for a type of confirmation, to come through. And so that's what I wanted to share with you this morning. Okay, happy March 1st. Here we go. Yay!